everyone. Hope you guys are having a great day. It is April 18th, and today I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about this week's weather, of course. It looks like this week is going to be kind of interesting. We could have a potentially large and significant mid-April winter storm. It's going to be affecting areas of the plains all the way into the northeast. And it looks like we're also going, and behind that, we're going to have a big cold blast, which if this was midwinter, for example, like January, this would be pretty extreme Arctic air, but it's mid-April, so we're just gonna have much below average temperatures. Uh, Not really extreme cold, but it's gonna be cold for this time of year. And that's pretty much it. We're gonna talk about when we could see another severe weather outbreak, and yeah, so let's get started. So today we do have a marginal risk across central Florida. We do have a lot of ongoing storms in that area right now. We go over to radar. And we can see we have storms going down from around St. Augustine, Palm Coast, to Leesburg, and almost to Orlando. Those are going to continue moving to the east. And we do have sun trying to get going and kind of by the Orlando area, in front of the main line, which extends from around Brooksville up through Leesburg and then up the Palm Coast, right here. And we have some single cell storms trying to get going in front of this. It doesn't seem like we're gonna have much of a tornado risk. Likely just a hail threat and a damaging wind threat with this. But we do have a marginal risk. Tornadoes really aren't a concern, but because we're gonna see some severe weather throughout tonight in this area, and it looks like the strongest storm seems to be stretching from DeLand down to Astulia. If I said that right, I don't think I did. That storm was likely going to be some wind gusts up to around 50. Not the SPC, the National Weather Service does not have it severe warned, which means that the storm right now is below severe limits. Sorry, but likely some gusty winds with this, and maybe some small hail. So yeah, now over the next 3 days, we can see tomorrow we do have a marginal risk again. Tomorrow is the 19th. We do have a marginal risk once again. And then we have a marginal risk once again on Tuesday. Now, so a lot of active severe weather across Florida, especially. Not any severe weather outbreaks, just a lot of thunderstorms with some storms going severe. We can see tomorrow, this is our outlook. We have a marginal risk going from south of Orlando down to almost the Naples area. Cities in this is Cape Coral, Port St. Lucie, Palm Bay, Melbourne, and Bradenton. I don't think I said that right, but then this is Tuesday. We have a marginal risk going from Orlando once again down into almost southern Florida. So once again, just several rounds of storms for Florida, and not any severe weather outbreaks, which is good, but we're going to have some storms are going to go severe, and not much of a tornado threat from the SPC over today and in the next couple of days, so that's good. Now let's talk about what's going to happen this week. Like I said before, it's looking like we're going to have potentially a significant winter storm, especially for mid-April standards. So this is what we have going on right now as of, this is off of the 18Z GFS run. This is around 7 to 8 p.m. tonight. So this is around right now, actually. We have a very strong cold front with Arctic air to the north of it, blasting south into the plains, and we have a lot of snow across Montana right there, and some of that is heavy. Even some snow mixing in maybe in Wisconsin and Minnesota, right on the back side of that precip. And by tomorrow morning, we can see our snow has worked its way into Idaho, over into Nebraska, and a little bit of snow maybe for UP and Michigan. Maybe extreme northern Michigan could have some brief snow mixing in. Not a lot of accumulation with that. But maybe some snow showers or some snow mixing in. And by Monday or tomorrow afternoon and evening is when it's going to really start to get interesting. We're going to have really gusty winds in this area also. Maybe blizzard conditions in some areas. But we can see heavy snow for areas like Denver, which Denver's just seen snow. Just a few days ago, Denver had snow, and a decent amount of it. And we can see that works its way all the way into southern Colorado. And then we have a little bit of snow maybe for northern Oklahoma, the extreme northern part of the Texas Panhandle. We Maybe some light snow for the Oklahoma Panhandle, and especially Kansas and Missouri. Kansas and Missouri look like there's going to be a decent amount of accumulating snow. And once that works its way into Arkansas and Missouri, we don't see snow, and heavy snow at that, in northwestern Arkansas and on April 20th. That's pretty rare. You can see we have snow making its way all the way almost into the Fort Smith area. That's rare for this time of year. We have a lot of snow moving into even southeastern Missouri, central Illinois, northern Indiana, northwestern Ohio, and southeastern Michigan getting in on some of that snow. And by Tuesday evening, we can see we have snow likely accumulating in Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, maybe extreme southeastern Michigan. This has kind of shifted a little bit further to the south. So that's going to leave areas like Detroit out from getting a whole lot of snow. You can see even snow coming into northeastern Arkansas and even western Tennessee. And then at 03Z, this is late Tuesday night now, at by around 10 to 11 p.m. We have snow, maybe mixing in for just a little bit, in Memphis. Now, it's going to be really hard to get snow in Memphis on April 20th, but we're going to look at some other models to see how far south we could actually see snow. And let's actually zoom in here. Let's take a sounding in southwestern Tennessee, right on that southern edge of the snow line. It's 37 degrees. That would fall maybe as a little bit of snow, maybe a wintry mix, but it's not going to stick. It's not going to accumulate at all. And we have snow falling in Kentucky. Most of Ohio seeing some decent snow. Problem is a storm system's going to be moving kind of quickly. And then by Wednesday, we can see the Northeast actually might be just because this low has shifted further to the southeast. The Northeast could actually get some decent snow. Talking areas like maybe Albany, New York, Binghamton, Buffalo, and Burlington, Vermont could see a lot of snow with this. And even some snow in the southern Appalachians, as far south as maybe eastern Tennessee, western North Carolina. In the higher elevations, of course, we can see behind this low. So, very interesting winter storm. Now, let's zoom in on the Ohio Valley here, because that's going to be an area where things could get interesting with maybe some snow making as far south as Memphis. So like I said before, the GFS has just a little bit of snow making it to Memphis. Let's see what the European has, because I'm sure the European's going to be a lot different. Yeah, the European doesn't even have snow getting close to Memphis. Maybe a little bit of northern Tennessee seeing some wintry mix as we go into Tuesday night, sorry. But no snow making it to Memphis. So, and I think the GFS I don't think we're going to see snow as far south as Memphis. That's very rare in mid-April. Canadian doesn't have it, so that's also something. But I think we're going to have a lot of accumulating snow for this area here. Maybe a little bit further to the south, but most models agree that central Indiana, central southern Illinois, northern and central Ohio could see a lot of snow with this, and then into the northeast. So we're going to be seeing a lot of snow for sure. And let's go back to the GFS. Let's take a look at accumulated snowfall with this whole storm system. And this is the Ohio Valley here. Let's go to forecast hour. Let's go to forecast hour 126. And the GFS, we have a few inches of snow across Illinois. Nice 3 to 5 inch range across southern central Missouri. Into areas like St. Louis, so maybe around 2 to 3 inches in the GFS. Snow for much of Kansas, even northeastern Oklahoma, extreme northwestern Arkansas, maybe getting in on a trace, or maybe a little bit more. And Ohio, though, northern Ohio, that's looking good, maybe a half foot of snow there. Let's see how the GFS, let's take a look at the Euro. This is 6 hours. Let's go to total accumulated snow. Very similar to the GFS, just a little bit further to the north. We see our heaviest snow across this area instead of this area. So that's something to note. And we can see areas like Columbia, Missouri getting around 2 to 3 inches. Areas like the St. Louis area getting around maybe 1 to 3. And Kansas City has a good chance of getting a decent amount of snow, likely 2 to 4 inches there. and central, southern Illinois getting a good amount. And once again, northern Ohio, northern Indiana, maybe a half foot in some areas. So that's some significant snow for mid-April. And the Canadian here has about a half a foot in this area, like the GFS and the Euro. And we have around 4, maybe 5 inches in areas of central southern Missouri, not southeastern Missouri, and into Kansas, with Kansas City getting around 4 inches. It looks like Kansas City has the best bet at getting a decent amount of snow. Of course, St. Louis is a snow hole on the Canadian model. It's kind of sad. And yeah, so just a lot of snow with this now. Let's move further to the west. Let me go back to the sure. I want to go to the central U.S. We're going to be seeing a lot of snow for areas of the Rockies right here. Denver may be seeing half a foot of snow. Colorado Springs maybe also half a foot. And just a lot of snow, maybe up to 2 feet in some areas. And literally all of Kansas seeing something. Some areas maybe getting less than others, especially in the southern portion of the state. But overall, a good swath of 2 to 4 inches across central Kansas, and that extends into Missouri, and then into Illinois, and then Indiana starts to shift north though, into central northern Indiana, and then into extreme central, or not extreme central, sorry, but into like really western and northern Ohio. So it's some decent accumulation across this area, and we go to the Euro. Let me fix this again. See, really similar to the GFS though, not as much snow. But in Denver, in the Colorado area though, just around half a foot for Denver, not 2 feet. Right to the west of town in the higher elevations, just maybe around, maybe a foot if you're really lucky. So a little bit less snow, but further to the east in Kansas, very similar to the GFS. Less snow in the southern part of the state, but you will see a little bit, just maybe not a whole lot. But across central Missouri, or central Kansas, my bad, you can see a nice swath of 2 to 4 inches, so very interesting. Now, let's go back to the GFS once again. The last thing we're going to look at for snow is the Northeast, because the Northeast is where it could get very interesting, because the Northeast has been changing a lot. This is in some insane accumulations for mid-April. A foot in some areas of the interior Northeast. A foot of snow stretching from northern PA into northern Maine. That's insane for mid-April. And just a lot of snow in this area. Burlington getting around maybe 7 inches on the GFS, but to the west, east, and south of town maybe more. And areas like Albany, New York only getting maybe 2 to 3 inches, some of that. It'll be a little bit warm for a whole lot of accumulation, but then north of town getting a lot more. And just a lot of snow with this. We go to the Euro. I'm sure the Euro is going to be different. And yeah, we can see around a foot of snow from western Maine down to northern Vermont. Or only half a foot, though, in northwestern PA, western northern New York. But still a lot of snow. The European doesn't have areas like Albany, Burlington getting as much snow. It has overall has a little bit less snow, but still a lot for mid-April. And then the Canadian, sorry, wrong model. Oh my gosh, I can't click. Okay, the Canadian, we can see we have we have a foot of snow from western New York all the way into extreme northern Maine. Areas like Burlington getting around 4.5. The Canadian overall agrees more with the GFS, or not the GFS, more with the Euro. So it looks like Burlington could get anywhere from around 3 to 6 inches at this point. Albany is kind of uncertain. It's looking like you could get nothing to maybe 2 to 3, maybe 4 inches. Buffalo, New York, maybe getting around 6 to a foot. That's what I would say. And overall, looking like a pretty big winter storm for mid-April. And yeah, now let's switch topics here. Let's talk about severe weather, because severe weather right now is rather calm for mid-April. We haven't had any really big severe weather outbreaks in a while. Our last one was the 9th. But yeah, so you can see not a great pattern for severe weather. Let's look at the 500 millibar winds here. That's kind of a good indicator for severe weather outbreaks. So overall, not a great setup at all. This is Tuesday evening this week. That's not going to give you much severe weather at all. That doesn't look good. And we're not going to have a whole lot of moisture either. And maybe something, this looks interesting, maybe around Saturday, Sunday, we could see something across the south. Texas, I'm thinking over into maybe South Carolina, North Carolina, so really the whole south. We could see something down here. So let's go to, let's lock this here. So have a nice upper level low centered right in the middle of central Texas. Not looking great, of course, but this could bring us something in this area, like I said before. Let's go to dew points. We'll see if we have any moisture with this. So this is interesting. So we don't have a great looking surface low. Looks like maybe what this would allow is for severe weather across mainly this area. Likely, I'd say this area be the area to watch on Saturday. Now this is very far out though, so that will likely change. And we could see some thunderstorm activity all the way over here. Just less moisture in that area. But overall, still it doesn't look like a great event. That's Saturday. But it could be something. Then this is Sunday. You can see that continues moving to the east. Not looking as good, but maybe across southern central Alabama, southern Georgia, maybe southeastern Mississippi and Florida Panhandle could see something. Now this back here looks interesting if this moves further to the east. We'll have to see what this is supposed to do. This is around a week out, so we're not gonna. Let's see what the GFS has that doing right now. So GFS has that nice trough. All right, I messed that up here, but GFS has that nice. I can't. Okay, there we go. Let me fix this. I'm sorry. All right, so the GFS is this trough going from. Or yeah, we see it enters the U.S. around Saturday evening. Likely a pretty strong storm system slamming the west. And it has it kind of turning into maybe a little bit of a negative tilt as we go into mid next week. This is around the 27th to 28th, which was when the GFS has been showing a lot of severe weather potential. This would really open up the plains into the Midwest and maybe areas of the deep south also, but mainly the Midwest and the plains kind of look good with this setup. So I'm expecting maybe a severe weather ramp up as we go into mid next week. That is very far out. I'm not going to go into any details because this is a week and a half out. But I do think we're going to see more severe weather as we go into next week. Maybe around the 25th to the 30th, we could see some kind of severe weather event. I'm not going to say how. It's kind of hard. It's really hard to tell at this point because we're a week and a half out what magnitude that event could be. But it looks like we're going to see something. We go back to past runs of the GFS here. Or actually, this is the latest run. The latest run in the GFS has. Let's let it load in here. It's going to take a while. The latest run in the GFS has entering around Saturday evening. Not looking as great. And then it has it looking really terrible as it moves into the plains and the Midwest. This would bring this doesn't look as good, but we could see maybe something in the plains. It wouldn't be really it wouldn't really be a tornado outbreak. Maybe a severe weather event though in the plains and the Midwest. Just not looking great. This is a week and a half out though. So what happens after? Or what happens as this trough moves to the east is uncertain. And we'll go into it. We'll talk about it again in tomorrow's video and see what the models have that doing and see what the models have it doing. But as of right now, it's uncertain. And what kind of I do think severe weather will ramp up as we go into next week, though. Yeah, that wraps up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And oh, by the way, thank you guys for 270 subscribers. We hit that a few days ago. I just wanted to say thank you. But yes, goodbye.